Hi everyone! One of my very first reviews that I published was these two books. Pacific Liners 1927 to 1972 and The Atlantic Liners 1925 to 1970, both written and illustrated by Frederick Emmons. And you can see the link down below for that review should you wish to travel back in time. Now finally, after all these decades, I have come across the companion volume to those two books, and that book is the subject of today's review, with said book being this one, American Passenger Ships, The Ocean Lines and Liners 1873 to 1983, also written and illustrated by Frederick E. Emmons. As you're seeing up here, this book is laid out and illustrated in the same way as the previous two. The ships are illustrated as outlines and you get a rough idea of what they looked like. The book then goes through geographically around the United States and looking at the various companies that served the different geographical regions. North Atlantic, Pacific, East Coast, West Coast, Caribbean, etc. And the value of this book lies in the description and wonderful, concise history of the various shipping companies. There are plenty of companies that once upon a time were quite common household names that have since been pretty much forgotten. We may be familiar with the United States Lines and Matson Lines, and disaster aficionados will also know the Ward Line for the Morro Castle. But other companies that were also famous at the time, you had Eastern Steamship Lines, Agui Lines, the Bull Line, Los Angeles Steamship Company, Miners and Merchants, the Alaskan Steamship Company. The list goes on and on and on, and I keep forgetting, of course, the Grace Line. My goodness, how could you forget the Grace Lines with their beautiful twin-funneled quartet designed by Francis Gibbs. So while the 21st century would have caught up with most of this book, and you can do an image search for seeing a lot of these ships, it is the information about the companies that is fantastic. It is an excellent, detailed, concise summary. And for those who may not be aware of some of these interesting companies, this is the perfect introduction to them, and hopefully an avenue towards finding other books that detail these histories and these ships in far greater depth. So, for the information contained herein, and for the nostalgia factor, this book is a three captain's hats. So if you have the other two books and you need the companion volume, go get it. If you want an introduction to American ocean liners and their companies, then this is a great starting point. So there you have it. Enjoy and happy reading, everyone.